Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Of Dice and Them. We are a tabletop role-playing game, actual play podcast. My name is Tove, and I bring you tonight, Blades in the Dark.
Woo!
Bringing this blade in the dark with me is Slidey Bambi.
Hello, lovely to be here.
Cutty Jack.
Yo, yo, yo!
Houndy Ralph.
I own knives.
And Lurky Lou.
I can't believe Ralph just missed the opportunity to say, I'm Ralph, houndy. Hi, I'm Ralph, houndy.
We go back in time. We are back on the zipline, this time from the perspective of Kuuza and Tay. Sliding down the zipline, Kuuza, you see the blue-cloaked ghost that's been following you start to make his way around in front of your path.
Floating or on some sort of ghostly zip line?
Quickly.
I imagine floating, but
Okay.
I want to say ghostly zipline.
Maybe,
He's got his own...
maybe floating but arms up so as to feel included.
No, he looks serious. He's
Oh.
put his arms by his side. You experience him floating around ahead of you. He points at the bags of stolen swag you are all carrying, and he frowns. His visage flashes from his neutral face, full of life, to the twisted rictus of a murder victim. He raises a finger to the rope, and it snaps.
Oh
my
no.
goodness.
Kuuza and Tay, you plummet towards the water while Randall and Gecko land in a passing barge. The two of you who haven't just had a duo adventure surface again after a moment, dragging yourselves to the edge of the canal. You watch as the barge trundles away, its pilot screaming bloody murder, and slowly get your bearings.
I can't swim! Help! I'm a centaur. No centaurs are able to swim.
Yeah, I think you might be on your own with that one.
What do you mean? What do you mean I'm on my own? I'm ready.
Well, I mean, with the best will in the world, you're massive.
You can't... Kuuza, you can't just say that to a lady.
I mean...
But you're not
Are
wrong.
you doing much better, Kuuza? Like, have you ever dumped a sheepskin rug in a canal and then tried to
Yeah.
swim while carrying it?
Speak for yourself, you furball.
Yeah, I mean, Kuza's quite long-limbed.
Oh, you both just stand up.
Oh, yeah, it's like 3 foot deep. Oh, no, this is fine, actually.
I feel like Little John Little from
Robin Hood?
1992 hit Robin Hood.
1991.
The thing was, the song came out, and it was the song when I was born.
And Ralph's, that's why I knew.
Really?
Yeah, it was in the top spot for a very long time.
Wow, I never knew we had such a link.
Famous troubadour.
I'm so glad I offered you this chance to do a little roleplay amongst yourselves.
So, not for nothing. You don't know anything about exorcism, do you?
I thought you were about to say ecstasy, which is rather something I deal with rather intimately. Exorcisms.
What, I pegged you for a ketamine girl.
Well, I was thinking the ecstasy of a strong orgasm, but no, I'm with you. What would you need an exorcism for? You being haunted by one of your old lovers?
You're a lot hornier than I was remembering you being.
I haven't played in a mighty long time, and as a
can
result,
tell.
I have forgotten both my voice and my place.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of spooky stuff going around. It's just good to, have these. I'm treading water, I assume.
Can I pause?
There's some very shallow steps, right?
Yeah,
Up-
please
out
let
of
there
the canal.
be, or a ridgeway.
Or a ramp to get boats in.
Yes, a boat ramp,
A slipway.
a slipway. Where
Slipway,
would
thank
we be
you for
without
saving me
Lou?
there.
No worries, babes.
Boat ramp.
A boat ramp.
Yes. boat ramp
Ramp.
for the lifeboat.
And the horses, apparently. The centaurs. Why, I must say, I don't know about your fur, Kuuza, but my hair is awfully matted and stinky after all that, and my beautiful golden locks are covered in mud and dirt and everything in between.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty ripe in the changing rooms.
We have changing rooms?
I'm imagining the locker room at the Shrieking Clam. What was Pakosti using this for? You make your slow and wet way back to the Shrieking Clam.
This is so upsetting.
In the distance, from the jewellery store that you have just departed, leaving it in chaos, you hear a spirit bell toll 3 times. Which you all, as denizens of the Undercity, know that 3 people have met their end tonight.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, that's not us. That was the robot, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it had nothing to do with us. In fact, you would say that we had plausible deniability. But no, it's definitely our fault.
Through a quirk of the winding roads of the Undercity, you find yourself coming back to the road on which the Shrieking Clam resides? Is built?
Is located?
Squats.
Is located?
Beautiful.
Squats.
Leans,
squats is good.
lunges,
Leans.
lunges interview.
At the same time as your 2 companions, Randall and Gecko.
We were wandering a while, huh?
Oh, you got lost, I assume.
I am cold, I am hungry, and I could use a drink.
Gecko is bleeding from a new face wound she didn't have before.
Oh yeah, shit.
Gecko, what happened to your face?
I don't know. Let me check my character sheet.
Also, don't...
You look like you've been struck by you've been narrowly grazed by a crossbow bolt or something of that nature.
Oh yeah. I got narrowly grazed by a crossbow bolt. Yeah, it was...
How on earth would you know that, Kuuza, unless you were, in fact, the real-life partner of the character of the person that plays Gecko? And were in fact,
there's
listening
some
in.
weird crossing of the fourth wall going on here.
I know.
Particularly because you're all wrong, it was a dagger. But...
I wasn't in the session.
yeah, I thought you were doing some really cool little oh, the character doesn't know.
Well, don't you worry about that little injury, my dear, because I have it on great authority that Kuuza knows a fantastic doctor of sorts that could sort you out.
I don't think Kuuza does know a good doctor, actually. What I've heard, I don't think that they're great.
Kuuza quickly hides his red, raw, and full of canal water hand behind his back.
Yeah, could you make an infection roll?
Turning the corner onto the street on which the Shrieking Clam squats, where you expect to see shadows, you see bright lights as you see the rundown tavern is illuminated from the inside, and queuing out the door is a long line of the local vagrants. But making your way inside the door, past the queue, you see your doctor, chef, spooning soup into bowls for these queuing, unhoused residents under Pakosti's watchful eye. Yeah, you're back. You took longer than I thought.
Really? I thought we were excellently efficient at every point, and we have attracted no suspicion and have brought no hell upon your meager establishment.
I literally heard the spirit bells tolling earlier. I assumed someone died. I thought it might have been you 3.
That had nothing... First off, there's...
Which 3?
Who did you... I was about to say, who did you think survived?
She points at Tay, Randall, and Kuuza.
Yeah, no.
That's fair. That's fair.
Tracks, yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
No, that wasn't us.
No, actually,
legally speaking.
And you had nothing to do with it, huh?
Well,
that's not what I said.
I would say very clearly that we were not the perpetrators of the murder. Ooh, where did I go there? I travelled around somewhat. I have been drinking.
As my colleague Benoit was saying. We had nothing to do with the murder.
Gecko does blush a little bit when Pakosti thinks that she might not have been murdered.
Listen, Pakosti, you don't have running water or anything like that. Only I'm a bit covered in shit.
He's been haunted by an ex-lover.
Why does running water need to get you from X?
I don't know. I think it's one of them little myths people hear. Something about ghosts and running water. I couldn't tell you. Personally, I believe in those such things. I barely believe in magic and gods, and they're legitimately real.
Yes,
What a
they
weird
are.
statement to make.
Is my spectral companion? Does he sort of pop in and out of existence, or is he a constant presence?
He's a constant presence. I would say he sort of fades into the background a little bit, but you
Sure.
do sense him present at all times. He has gone back to his general sort of neutral, floaty, not particularly terrifying presence at the moment. Well, I see you're carrying big bags of swag. Let's head downstairs and do some downtime activities, huh? And she hops off the counter and begins to make her way downstairs, but stops for a second, turns around and indicates one of the nearby vagrants and says, "Oh, you'd better meet Archie here. She's the little ringleader of this bunch." And a woman dressed in rags steps forward. She's missing a tooth. She's covered in dirt. She's wearing a sort of floppy, dirty hat. And says, "Oh, my good fellows, it's good to meet you all. My name's Archie. It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance."
Gecko looked for a second like she was looking in a mirror, and then as soon as she opened her mouth, she immediately was like, "Okay, no, we're not the same." It's okay.
"Hello,
we're so
young
fine.
lady." She offers her hand to shake Gecko's hand.
Gecko spits in her hand and looks like she's gonna go for like a really firm handshake, but sort of just gives it a kind of a little wobble.
One of those limp just leaves it there and
"Ah, a wet one."
a wet limp handshake.
Not limp, but just in a kind of like a. Okay, I don't really know how to do this.
Top notch, top notch. Well, I might have a little business opportunity for you four later on, but I'll let you get to business with our dear patron first of all. And she turns away and says, "Oh, I've got some soup to eat." Woohoo!
Okay, enjoy your soup.
And you make your way downstairs with Pakosti. So, first part of downtime activities, we are looking at payoff. We actually have 2 scores, technically, to pay off. Under Pakosti's appraising eye, you come to an arrangement where she will fence the jewellery from the jewellery shop for 6 coin.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
you may add that to your
Party loot.
party loot, or crew sheet, as it is known in Blades in the Dark.
Interesting.
Or start distributing it amongst yourselves. She also appraises 2 coins worth of trinkets from the Underchurch of Arena, which Gecko and Randall are carrying.
You robbed a church?
Not all of it.
We found ourselves there and, thought we'd make ourselves useful.
When in Rome and such like.
I was going to say that, but I don't know what Rome is.
When in the Undercity.
And Gecko, you still have the arcane core in its magical box.
Oh yeah.
You've just been carrying that around the entire time.
Yeah, how big is that thing?
This is from the church.
Yeah, I remember.
You stole a core from the church?
You don't know that.
Well, this is the point, whether Gecko is going to bring it up or not. It's probably about book-sized with maybe sort of same again depth, so you could keep it hidden if you wanted, or you could see what Pakosti makes of it.
I'm tempted to show the others, but not necessarily Pakosti right yet, because she took it off us before, and it ended up in the church, and the church is gangs that don't like me very much. So I don't really want Pakosti to try and sell them another one. They find out that it's gone missing. We were the last people in the church. They know we were in the church, and then we get in more shit with it. So
Okay.
I'm probably not going to advertise it to Pakosti right yet.
Okay, so the rest of you can assume that you know about it in that case, and we'll keep it hidden from the DM NPC for now. DMPC? DMPC.
I mean, all NPCs are DM NPCs.
Yeah, that's
if you think
right.
about it.
Need to specify. How do you want to divvy up the 8 coin? You have 2 coin currently within the crew.
I feel there could be either 2 ways of doing it, and I would say that having half go to the crew and half split between us makes a lot of sense in my eyes. So we'd get 1 each, and then 4 for the party, or the crew, as it's otherwise erstwhile known.
I think I argued quite fervently to have my own share last time. Tried to maintain character consistency.
Well, you would have your own share as well. We
What
have
is
to invest into the crew, otherwise we won't get further. I have
Yeah, 2 each and
grand
2 for the
ambition.
pot sounds fair.
That doesn't make 8, Ralph.
1 each and 4 for the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 each and 1 each for the pot. That's what I was saying. Butt out, Pakosti.
It's fine. We don't hire him for his mathematical ability.
No, you hire me for my ability to take a huge amount of stress and damage.
I'm just an exceptionally stressed bugbear, okay?
Yeah, Kuza's vibrating this whole
His teeth are grinding to stubs.
Yeah, bitten nails just...
On the gang's character sheet, there's only 4 spaces for coin.
So once it overflows from 4, I believe it starts going into your vaults, which are representative of investments that you can't immediately sell if you need the cash. So you would have to spend a downtime activity getting the money out of your vaults, I believe.
Ditto stash on the character sheet.
Yes, I think. I may be thinking of stash, but we'll treat vaults as the same.
Well, I
for
feel like
now.
we should
Well,
make
it's-
some
it's- yeah,
firm
yeah.
investments anyway, if we are to get further in this undercity of ours. Randall, what do you think? As the only one of us demonstrably has had any money at any point.
Yeah, the
Randall.
previously rich kid who's now running with us. He's gonna be great with money, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he can tell us what not to do.
Well, if it were me, and it is me, what I would do is I would probably lose it all, spending it on drugs of some sort. That's really all I know what to do with money. That's really why I'm here, I think. So yes, there you go. That would be my input.
So your grand plan is lose the money.
I don't really want to put my money, what I got, somewhere where Randall can spend it on drugs. Really.
I agree. I think we should take a leaf out of Gecko's book and just hide it in some random person's bathroom so that they don't know it's there or something.
You know, sometimes the local law enforcement may capture you doing something bad, and then you can bribe them. That's a good one. That's 2 things. That's 2 whole things to spend money on.
I would like to revisit the idea of each of us getting our own share. Instead, having a plan whereby we might agree upon a way to use this money that isn't drugs.
And bribes.
And stuff. I like stuff.
Stuff is good.
Pakosti, I'm sorry. This is very much like a fourth of us conversation, and we'll come back to you.
Yeah, fine, okay, I'll go back and, I don't know, eat some soup.
If you could just idle in the corner over there.
Yeah, I mean, we are not directly
Polish a
talking
glass,
to you.
maybe.
Yeah.
No, fine, no, that's fine, you do what you
Leaf
want to
through
do.
a book.
Can you read?
Of course I can read, don't give me that. I'm gonna go read about exorcisms, because Kuuza asked me about exorcisms earlier, and I'm gonna be helpful.
I just want to make sure you weren't like that lovely young lady from Glee that says she can read, but it's quite clear that she can't.
I haven't watched Glee. It's on my list, but
There's a rather wonderful conspiracy theory about how the lead actress cannot actually read, and it has a significant amount of evidence to back it up, and it's quite fun. Anyway, carrying on. So one person maybe will get that reference and be happy.
I have to now go record some wooden clogs sound effects of Pakosti walking away.
Or just that.
That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just say me talking about the sound effects rather than actually. Well, go on then. My character's not allowed to talk, apparently. So.
What are we doing with this fucking gold?
As a group, I don't know. We could upgrade our lair.
Ooh. I wonder at this point. Hey, Pakosti, what can we actually do with this gold?
Fucking insert the clipping-clopping of clogs again.
Clogs.
Well, this is just the payoff phase. You can't actually do anything with it yet. You're just distributing it.
No, I do understand. I'm asking theoretically, what could a crew do with coin?
So you can spend it on taking more downtime activities. You can lose it for things like bribes, like Bambi said. There are various things you can do with it that I perhaps will detail to you when I have read a bit more of the rulebook.
Gecko just holds out her hand to Pakosti and holds out her other hand with 2 fingers.
Well, Gecko has made her choice, I believe.
I'm taking one. I'm putting one in the pot. Done.
I agree. Yeah, I will do the same.
Yeah, same.
But Gecko wants to.
I mean, it's on my character sheet now. There's nothing I can do.
I mean...
she's gone. She just fucking took it, didn't she? Huh.
Yeah, she does that.
And that is why she is the one I thought would survive when I heard there were 3 murders in City.
I've added 3 to the crew sheet.
We'll assume
we've got
that
one in the
extra
vaults.
vault goes to Pakosti to invest in something.
We have a brief 1 to 1.5 hour chat with Pakosti to gauge our risk level.
Hagfish futures?
I'm sold, yeah.
Invest in the canning industry.
Let's invest it all into witch crabs, which are going to be
Futures.
competing.
It always has to be
resource.
futures. Because that sounds more official.
Witch Crab Futures is the shell company. Shell company.
Get out.
Oh, 10 out of 10. You can tell he works in a zoo, can't you?
Oh!
So next on the downtime activity list is heat.
God, sorry. Just to be clear, this is item number 2 on the downtime activity.
2 of 4, we're halfway through.
Okay, no, we're not.
But one of those steps is everyone do their own thing.
Oh, yeah.
Twice.
We have a debate over whether this was a 0 heat because it was smooth and quiet with low exposure, or 2 heat because it was contained with standard exposure. But it did happen on hostile turf, which would be a +1.
I mean, it was pretty noisy at the end, but
we weren't there.
All of the noisiness was as we exited.
Yeah. And we deliberately did it at a time when there was heat coming in from other people anyway. And
we heard 3 bells, and there were 3 thugs, right?
There were 6, I think.
Okay, so we might have been made.
Yes, and adding 2 heat if killing was involved, whether the crew did the killing or not.
They've got us there. They've got us bang to rights there.
So
they saw us coming.
Is that like 3 heat then?
5.
Hostile territory and 2 for killing? Are we saying it was also contained standard exposure?
It was definitely contained.
I
think Jack's right. If I remember, we were
perfect
out of sight, right?
I wasn't.
Well, that's true. You were in sight, but weren't relevant. Part of it.
I would accept an argument for low exposure because you did misdirect. Good. You put your whole effort of the heist was into misdirecting it to the thugs.
I slept with that. No.
Oh yeah.
We'll say 3 heat then, which brings you to a total of 5. Next on the list is entanglements. We will be rolling 5 dice to find out the entanglement because we have 5
dice.
heat.
Dear me.
Hear that? That's almost Warhammer sounds.
I don't like that Tove rolls to tell us how badly we
How
fucked up.
fucked you are.
Well, I'm glad it's not Ralph, to be fair.
That's true.
I'm afraid it's as bad as it gets. This is a 6 for a show of force.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
So, Show of Force is a faction with whom you have a negative status makes a play against your holdings. Give them 1 claim or go to war, dropping to -3 status. If you have no claims, lose 1 hold instead.
Do we have... Are we
You
at
don't
negative?
have any claims at the moment.
No. Do we have any factions that were negative?
Yes.
Yes.
All of them.
Yeah, we don't have any with a positive. I don't
Well,
think.
no, but that doesn't mean we're at a negative.
Specifically, the Forger sisters have -1 with you because they are out looking for Gecko.
Yeah, they fucking hate
Fuck's
me.
sake. Fine.
They probably don't like me even more now.
Well, that's probably
And then you didn't
wise.
even give your money to party loot.
Nothing but a bloody liability.
So I think this manifests itself in gameplay with you all hearing that the Forger sisters are out looking for the blood of a young tiefling girl who is grubby and has a cut on her face.
We need to get you a berth.
This means that you are finding it harder to operate without giving
Arouse
away
suspicion.
something. Yeah. So you, as a gang, lose 1 hold.
And we all definitely know what that means, so that's okay.
So you are tier 0 at the moment. So you're only able to get like the cheapest thugs, the worst equipment. But you at least had a strong hold on your tier 0. Now you have a weak hold on your tier 0.
What if we lose that? What's lower than 0?
It's not good.
Oh.
How about we, I've changed my mind about what I might do in my downtime.
Kuuza gains 1 more stress.
Ralph gains 2.
With that, we are on to our downtime activities. Tay, what do you have in mind?
Well, I now have 2 things I would like to do. So I get to do 2 things, right?
Yes, would you like me to run down the activities?
No, I've done my homework.
Very good.
I why don't you run down them for the sake of the listener?
Oh, of course, for the listener.
For the listener.
Yes,
I
the
know,
listener.
obviously.
Obviously, we all know.
Yeah.
So you can acquire an asset, which is what I believe Ralph did to acquire the Doctor last time.
Doctor,
quote unquote. You can embark on a long-term project, which Randall currently has one ongoing to increase status with Jenny's girls, so he has easier access to drugs. You can recover, which is healing yourself. You can work to reduce heat. I think, Tay, you might have done that last time. You went around threatening people, telling them not to snitch.
Something like that. Sounds like me.
You can train yourself, so gain XP and something, or you can indulge your vice, reducing your stress.
Well, Tay would like to embark on a long-term project. I'm going to hit up one of the people I used to work with in one of the previous gangs, try and get them to give me a little bit more information about the current state of affairs in that gang.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Is there any particular information you're looking for, or going to curry a particular favour?
No, not favour, more like weaknesses, things going wrong, any frayed tensions, any sore points in the gang, anything that could be exploited, because basically I want to take the gang down.
Okay. Do you want to let slip which person particularly you're going after?
Well, I mean, I'm going after the head honcho, Erdogan, which is my sort of rival nemesis
yeah.
person. So basically, he was the leader of the gang that saved Tay. Basically, just sort of kidnapped her and abducted her. And so he's a really big deal in the family, which is a gang in the Undercity.
You would all know of the family. They are bigger than the Regency, Jenny's girls, the thugs. They're like
Oh shit.
a higher tier.
So like we wouldn't come into contact with them too much. And I think Tay got quite lucky to be disregarded and cast out rather than just killed.
Yeah, we're talking season 2 baddie here.
Yeah. Like maybe even season 5. Like this is the end game, you know.
Who knows?
You know, once we hit, I tell you what, at the £20,000 Patreon goal per month, we'll bring back the Erdogan campaign.
Yeah, fan favorite Erdogan will finally debut.
Erdogan versus Asguz. Let's go.
So this is Iron Man at the start of Iron Man saying, "Gonna kill Thanos, I reckon."
Well, you know, something along those lines.
It's a long-term project.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It's a long term.
How many parts in this clock, Tove?
40.
I was thinking to get maybe a meeting with Erdogan, we'd be looking at maybe 8 or 10 in terms of putting feelers out.
But the first meeting will be at the end of season 1, and we've not actually cast him yet, so you only see his hand on the arm of the chair.
Oh yeah. No, you don't talk to Erdogan. You talk. If you want to talk to him, you talk to me. Yeah. All right. Let's go meeting with Erdogan. I think that's quite nice. But really, it's just like at
friendly
this point,
meeting with Erdogan. I think you could get an aggressive meeting with Erdogan fairly easily.
No.
Via skylight.
Yeah, exactly. Via chains in a canal.
We'll go 10 then.
Yeah, and so I think it's just a case of going back and chatting to Jimmy or Johnny or
Jimmy on the spot.
Jimmy
Jimmy
basically just to see, like, do the family have any problems at the moment? You know, every family's got problems, right? And then are there any weaknesses? Are there any tensions that Tay could exploit or find a way in, or you know?
Give me a roll. I reckon that's a consort, possibly.
It definitely sounds like consort, doesn't it? Consort with connections from your heritage.
Unless you want to completely change your approach.
Well,
enter an arm wrestling competition.
I was going to start pit fighting.
Well, I was thinking survey, because under survey it's gather information about opportunities or exploits.
Oh, that's convenient. You've got 2 points in that, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's handy. I reckon that's a good first step.
Or we could say it's survey and consort and go for a 1 even.
I'd perhaps say don't handicap yourself with this 10 clock, or we will be here.
Oh, that's
for
true. That's
days.
true. Let's go for survey. I have already rolled 1-1, so. A 6.
Oh, 6. That's 5 segments.
Very nice.
No, it's not. It's 3.
It's 3 segments.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
That felt wrong as soon as I said it.
You did say it, though.
Well, taking it back.
Hands
GM's
off the chest.
privilege.
Wait, what's this privilege you're talking about? I don't have any fucking DM privilege with you guys.
So I think it's storyteller privilege, isn't it?
I said GM. Game master. No dungeons here. You haven't met the BDSM gang yet.
It's funny.
But they're out there.
They're out there.
There is one.
The whippersnappers are lurking in every corner.
Fuck's sake.
I reckon with 3 segments, you are starting to get a bit of a bead on where you may be able to find where the family are operating.
Yeah.
So you know that you would imagine that Jenny's girls and the Regency are both paying tithes to the family to keep them out of their business. So you suspect perhaps there's a way in through there.
Cool. Love it. I will relinquish my place in the spotlight.
Anyone want to volunteer, or shall I pick?
I think you should pick.
Randall, what are you on to?
Randall. Randall is going to advance his long-term project,
which is to get more drugs.
Yeah, woo! So yeah, well, it's obviously to ingratiate with Jenny's girls, right? So
yes, I think you were specifically targeting Lorenzo, her second in command.
Yes.
Do you remember how it went last time?
Badly.
You've got 1 segment in this clock.
Yeah, no. So I remember rolling pretty lowly. I think like it was just basically using him as a dealer, trying to bypass the street level, run-of-the-mill. They don't have enough drugs for Randall, so he wanted to try and get straight, above their heads. I think how Randall would approach it this time is he'd invite Lorenzo to a party. Where instead of trying to have a transactional meeting, maybe more of a, hey dude, want to go out and get messy?
I think he'd be up for that. I think what little I know about Lorenzo so far is amenable to going out and getting messy with a random ex-rich kid.
Yeah, and I think what Randall's going to do is play up to that rich kid's side as well. And just spend, can I spend money, spend a coin or something to try and, really,
Yeah, you mechanically would be able to spend 1 coin to have another activity, which we could say is another roll. So you get advantage on this for a coin. But both would apply.
Yeah, so basically just head out, find a relatively mid-level, it's totally gone, opium den. And yeah, just go for it.
Give me a roll.
It's a 4.
I'll read the book before I announce how many segments that is this
2.
time. It is 2. And your second roll?
So wait, I roll 3 dice and I take the top 2, sorry? Or do I roll again?
We're rolling again, so we're treating it like 2. You're spending a coin to get an additional activity?
Yes. So that's...
It's a 2-day bender.
That's a 5.
Let's do again.
That's also 2, yep. Yeah, I reckon it goes pretty well. Lorenzo seems like a nice enough guy. He sort of suggests a bit of how he came up through the ranks, where there was a bit of messiness when he was sort of at the street level and he had to ditch his ex-boyfriend and this other girl they were running with. He doesn't mention either of their names, but Jenny managed to patch up the problems they were having with the family as a result of this messiness, and he shot up through the ranks after that. And I think with 4 segments, he's starting to actually quite enjoy your company with a degree of enjoyment.
Randall has a friend.
Yeah, add him as a sly friend.
A second friend after...
A second friend after Nanny.
Yeah.
I miss Nanny. I haven't seen her for her play episodes.
We'll see her again when
Randall needs literally anything.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't actually have to spend a coin if you wanted, if that was both your activities, but I assume you want to indulge.
Yes.
a vice.
Indulging a vice sounds fantastic. Well, I think that's part of the...
Oh, we'll roll that all in. Yeah.
He just indulges while he's out on his bender.
You don't need a separate bender.
Yeah, so that's 2 dice using my lowest. Is that how that works?
Yes, so that would be your prowess, which has got absolute 0 in it. So it's taking a toll on your body. So that's 2 dice and take the lowest.
Perfect.
And that's how much stress you clear.
5.
That clears all your stress.
That's your lowest.
You're showing us some very
dice.
Stylized dice. We cannot read that.
Yes. Gears and
it's
lines.
It's an iron hand, which represents 6.
Of course.
And then it's 5 gears, which...
Why doesn't a hand represent 5?
Fucking Norfolk dice over here.
So I wipe all my stress. Damn, I wanted to overindulge.
Yeah, I can't believe Randall hasn't yet, to be honest.
He's a very high-functioning...
Is he?
I mean, he's doing fairly well, really, in the grand scheme of...
It's actually a good thing that Bambi actually took some stress in the last adventure. Otherwise, he'd have massively overindulged.
He would be indulging in vice.
Yeah, I think the other thing to say is that he's doing exceptionally well, but also it's very selective in what he chooses to attempt in his defense. Like, he's really good at talking occasionally to people in a coffee shop outside the heist. Ooh. Big danger there.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Or going to have a fight with someone on a stealth mission. Going to have a loud argument in a public building.
Yeah, there's a wide array of voice-based activity.
Lose a coin because you had 3 activities. Gecko, what are you up to?
I was told I would be last.
Kuuza, what are you up to?
You did promise that Lou would go last.
I did,
No, it's
didn't
okay.
I?
You did, but you know,
We could go
So
one
we
we
more.
can't
trust
all keep up. We've learned that we can't trust anyone's word. And
Welcome to
the
Blades
world's a
in the
dark
Dark.
place. Yeah.
Bum bum bum.
So, I think there is some sort of function in a nearby place, somewhere that's not super fancy or with like people of any status, but it's someone's, golden wedding anniversary or 60th birthday or something that's, bit of a to-do, but
I dread to
whatever
ask
else.
where this is going, but yeah, sure, there is, yeah.
Well, I think what Gecko really wants, she had a bath and whatever else last time. I think what she wants this time is a voul-au-vent or 2. So
For the listener who might not know what a voul-au-vent is, just the listener, understand?
Yeah, yeah. Like
What's a
some
voul-au-vent?
poor people from Norfolk, for example. That were lucky to get a ham sandwich. What is a voul-au-vent?
voul-au-vent is, an incredibly 80s canapé.
Okay.
Or
I'm with you.
any kind of whatever else. They are layers of pastry. The pastry of which I can't freaking think of the name of.
Thema.
Shoe pastry?
Puff pastry.
Puff pastry. Thank you, Bambi.
Oh, it was
They
the
are-
obvious one.
Shoe pastry.
No, shoe pastry is different.
Yeah, I know. Toe said shoe, and I was mocking them for saying shoe.
Okay,
I would like everyone to know that I actually do know what a voul-au-vent is.
good job, Bambi.
Very impressive.
All right. Teacher's pet.
Ralph and Jack, did you know what a voul-au-vent was?
Yes.
I know it's a sort of canapé thing, but I don't know the specifics.
Yeah, to be fair, that.
Okay, I am the bottom of the table of knowing about voul-au-vents. Carry on, Gecko.
We've got the full spectrum of voul-au-vent knowers.
Also, dear listener, the only one still in Norfolk.
They've not made it over there yet.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I've got no comeback to that.
Have you got Viennettas yet? Same sort of era, right?
They'll be in the freezer next to the voul-au-vents, to be fair.
Yeah.
Vol-au-vents go in freezer, taking notes.
If you buy them frozen, like in a cash and carry in the 80s, for sure.
It's already frozen. What is Gecko doing with the frozen
That's
vol-au-vents?
it. That's it, everyone. That's a wrap. That is the funniest thing any one of us has or ever will say.
I think I've missed something.
Specifying that they go in the freezer if you buy them and they are already frozen.
Okay.
It's just very, very good. There you go.
Jack's got a very funny coloured face now.
It's called Starved of Oxygen. Ooh. Ooh.
Do you still want to know what a voul-au-vent is, or are you just happy to just like kind of let that one go now?
Go on, I'll imagine based on context when you tell me what you're doing with them.
It's like, there's a small little puff pastry case with like some sort of paste, like a little like prawn paste or a little sort of
Okay,
cream
yeah.
cheese or
Yeah,
something.
I've eaten one. I remember now. I just
Yeah.
didn't know that's what they were called.
Yeah, that we're in the sort of prawn cocktail Viennetta era of fine dining. Yeah, so I think that possibly the party is tomorrow, but they've brought all the food over to the
Ooh.
church hall or to the, to the nice gastro pub or wherever they're having this function, and they've got them on big silver platters with cling film over them, and they're all ready to be put out tomorrow. And I think Gecko's going to go and have some vol-au-vents.
Taking the form mechanically of a indulge vice, I take it.
Yes.
Give me that roll.
Yes. I think everyone's lowest is 0, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We're not good enough yet to have.
My lowest's 1.
My lowest is
Kuuza,
2.
the well-rounded jack of all trades.
My lowest is 2.
No, it's not.
Just the number of things you have in it, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I've got no points in any resolve things, so
I have 2 in each. I have 2 in insight and resolve, and I have 3 in prowess.
Oh, then yes. I am going to regain 1 stress.
Yay!
Grim.
So the vol-au-vents are like shit, and it like took too much effort to sneak into this place and get
I
them.
built it up in my head. I was really looking forward to it, and they actually were just like frozen from cash and carry rather than.
I feel like it's completely
made
the
ones.
opposite. The vol-au-vents are nice, but you met like a really lovely lady who was like, "Oh, please have one," and that just ruined it for you. Like, oh, someone's offered one. That's I'm not getting my rocks off at all. Yeah, it's a vol-au-vent, but I'm not stealing and being weird.
I think actually Gecko would be quite touched if someone gave her a vol-au-vent. She doesn't do it for the kicks. She just does it because people like
luxury.
her don't have nice things, and so she has to take them.
Okay, shut up, Jack. We'll go with my
All
idea.
right, I've misjudged Gecko. I'm poorly informed.
I mean,
Talk to Kuuza, shall we?
don't get me wrong, it's definitely weird.
It's still weird.
It's still
creepy.
weird, but she's got
Oh.
there's a justification for it. And also, can I have a second downtime activity, please, Tove?
I thought we might come back to you and split this one up since it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
Or is it linked? Is it?
Well, I personally thought, speaking of weird and creepy,
Elaborate.
Ralph.
Okay. Well, we'll first answer the question, is your second activity going to be linked to the vol-au-vent activity?
Probably not, because I've got to decide which one I want to do.
I will say, depending on how my first one goes, my second one might just be doing it again.
So
Kuuza, what
it
you
will
doing?
be.
Yeah. So, looking on my character sheet and seeing the 8 out of 9 stress that I've taken, Kuuza is going to indulge a vice, because mathematically, that can't go badly for me.
You're right, you can't. And your vice is a little different to everyone else's, isn't it?
My vice is different to everyone else's. My vice is faith. Because Kuuza is trying to make contact with a half-forgotten bugbear deity of nightmares.
And you have a particular place in which you perform these rites. Did we
I
touch
do,
on that?
yes. It needs to be a place that is of particular sort of psychic resonance. And currently, the only place Kuuza is aware of that he can do this in is the attic of the noble household in which he was kept as sort of a curiosity and sort of a pet almost, which we will call Fanshawe Manor.
Fanshawe Manor. I reckon that's in Northminster with the other Regency holdings.
Yeah, I would imagine they're part of that sort of circle. If they're not in the Regency proper, they run in the same sort of.
Yeah, I imagine Ponsonby talks a big game, but probably doesn't have that many friends. So the Reinards, I think we've said, aren't in the Regency, despite being a human noble family. So maybe the Regency doesn't have the reach that they perhaps purport to have amongst the nobles of the Undercity. So give me a roll.
I'll give you a roll. So my lowest is 1 point in resolve. And that's, of course, a 2. So I will be doing this a second time for my second activity. That's a 6.
Uh-oh.
So that clears it completely.
Does it clear it perfectly?
6 plus 2, 8.
Fucking jammy as shit.
Oh! So the way I see this, I sort of imagine it, quite a lot like 11 in Stranger Things when she goes into the Upside Down. Blindfold, like complete sensory deprivation, trying to tap into the energies, and just trying to kind of spiritually make contact with something else, and the something else, the S and the E are capitalized.
I think this goes swimmingly well. Like Kuuza gets more or less what he expects from his meditation. But as you open your eyes at the end, you are face to face with your ghostly companion, who's not aggressive, who's not in any way, but you are just reminded that, yes, I have. When I reach out into the ghost field, there is a ghost who has taken an interest in me.
You, mate, you are going to become a long-term project.
His opinion appears to be neutral on the threat. So there we have it. We have completed our downtime.
No, we haven't.
Except for Lou's second one.
I'll cut that and put it at the end after Lou's second one.
No, keep that in. Very important.
And we go back to Gecko. Gecko, what's your second activity that we have waited and definitely not forgotten about?
I mean...
Start a long-term project to look into Kuuza's ghost.
You're the only one with any points in a
right?
tune, right? No, you don't have a point in a tune. I take that back.
No. Oh, that's what I was doing last time, wasn't I? I was trying to train in a tune.
And how are we doing that? Do you remember?
I went and broke into a library, and that was it. Yeah, that's why I got in trouble with the Forger Sisters, because I was in someone's reading room, and I dashed out.
Do you reckon you still have the book that you were reading? Is this as simple as just doing a bit of reading at home?
It could be. I didn't know whether I should try and patch up my cut, or try and do some more stress, or try and do, I don't know what to do.
Those are the options. If you are to recover, you could perhaps give Meg Leakfield a second chance at doing some doctoring.
Don't want to give Meg Leakfield a second chance to do some doctoring.
Yeah, are we really stuck with this vet chef
Not a
person?
vet. She does no medical training.
Yeah, that would be an enormous upgrade from what we've got.
Just because Ralph...
She was
rolled
also
poorly.
a temporary asset as well, and having
Thank God.
read the rules about recover, you would have been better off just doing it yourself.
Yeah.
I should have set a minimum quality of 0, so when she rolled a -1, you would have just been better off doing it yourself.
Yeah, are we stuck because Ralph has made that poor series of rolls that she's the only chance we have to repair harm? Speaking as a frontline fighter.
You can simply recover by yourself and not employ a chef.
But, no. I just want to drill into this because I don't feel like you're picking up what I'm putting
Has
down.
the
put it down.
doctor slot now been
Is there
permanently
one
filled
doctor slot?
by bad chef?
Can we not, find another fucking
You have to have a really
doctor?
emotional scene where you tell her you don't want her to be your doctor anymore, and I'm going to put
Can
on
we
real
get a
tears,
second
and you're going to
opinion?
feel really
And by
bad.
opinion, I mean doctor.
I'll do it, Tove. I will through fire.
She was a temporary asset. She is now a narrative friend to the gang. In
Okay.
that Pakosti saw her trying to leave and grabbed her and said, "You're a chef, aren't you?" And she said, and now she's spooning soup.
Fine. But Lou and Gus in this situation could potentially find somebody else to help.
Or Gecko could.
Who's this? Who's this halfling who's just stumbled in here?
So finding a new doctor would be a acquire asset activity. So that would use up one of your activity slots, which you could.
Did you
just
say that
spend
I could
on
just try to do it
healing
my
your face? Yeah.
I was going to say, can I just do it myself? Because I feel like that's what Gecko would do anyway. She'd just try and clean it with a bit of slightly dirty rag, and try and plaster it up a little bit. I don't think she minds having a cool scar. Just wants to make it a little bit tidier.
So you can choose to simply tough it out and attempt to heal without any treatment. In this case, take 1 stress and roll 0d. So you'd roll 2 dice, take the lowest.
That I've just recovered with my voul-au-vent. My voul-au-vent related stress relief. I would just lose immediately. I think she's going to do it, though. I just can't imagine her doing it another way.
She's like a middle-aged British man who refuses to go to the doctor for anything.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. It's just so helpful. I've decided to finally come in now that it's got to a point that is so horrifically bad.
Now that I'm ravaged.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my tiny dice in case they are a little bit better.
Are they good at rolling?
We'll find out. Take the lowest, yeah?
Yes.
1.
Is it low?
Definitely a 1.
It's a 1. Well,
Dear
I've got
listener,
good news for
it's
you.
a 1.
You mark 1 segment of your healing clock. 3 to go.
And take a stress again. So I'm actually almost no better off after my downtime. I am on exactly the same amount of stress. I have still the same amount of injured. I've still got the same amount of heat. Everything is just as bad.
Perhaps narratively we can say that the dagger was poisoned. And that's the true
Why is
source
that
of
making
what you're
it
fighting
worse?
off.
Why is that?
I'm giving you an excuse of why you haven't been able to heal a small cut on your face.
I'm making your wound worse so it's less embarrassing.
That's exactly it.
And then we all meet up again, and Kuuza comes in looking fresher and blow-dried and conditioned.
Cucumbers on
and
his eyes.
moisturised.
Twice the size he was previously.
doing some circular breathing and some
Yeah,
Pilates.
Hand's still burned though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it did not do well in the tank with all the salty water. It is looking even worse.
Randall's skin is more sunken. He looks terrible. But
He looks like he's been on a 2-day bender.
But a good big smile on his face.
yeah, big smile on his face though.
And that's where we'll end it this evening. Next time we will embark on our next score. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Of Dice and Them. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a review on your favourite podcasting platform and subscribe to be notified as soon as new episodes drop. In the meantime, give us a follow at Of Dice and Them on social media, where you can also find out how to follow our cast. And we'll see you next time. Yeah, so I guess I'll end it in a not shit way in case this does become an episode by itself.
At last, I have reached the tallest peak in all the world, where the wisest person lives. Finally, I'll get the answers I seek.
Welcome. I am the wisest person in the world. Ask me your question.
What is my purpose in life? What should I be doing to achieve pure happiness?
You must stream Game Master Monday.
Come again.
Game Master Monday, the bi-weekly podcast that plays a new one-shot in a new system in a new setting with a new cast every episode. Listening to their funny jokes and wild stories is the only path to happiness, my child.
Sick. I'm going to go home and binge the whole thing right now.
What a nice kid. Oh dear, he fell off the mountain. Now they'll never know how good Game Master Monday is.